How is technology changing boardrooms around the country? The question probably should be, how is technology not changing boardrooms? It is impacting every level of every interaction that you have with boardrooms. And, the board of directors now needs to be right across the technology changes, the digital transformations, but they also now need to be aware of this new emerging technology, artificial intelligence, the impact of cyber, etc., etc. I'm noticing a huge trend towards boards now becoming much more au fait with using regulatory technology. So that might mean they've got some sort of a board software program that helps manage their board meetings, their papers, and so on. That does enable us to be a lot more streamlined with the sharing of documents, minutes, board papers, and the like. I think that's really crucial. Increasingly, that then creates almost like a blockchain effect across the board because every decision is clearly documented. What, when, how did those decisions get made and reached? So I think there's a huge level of professionalism, and even in the small boards, I'm seeing even the smaller boards, sub 3 million turnover, are increasingly using some form of a board management software program. So we're seeing technology coming into the mix. On the back of COVID, we also saw everyone kind of have to shift for a period of time to virtual board meetings. I'm seeing a lot of boards now shift very comfortably to that type of concept, and using it more often than not to enable us to bring the best talent to the table. So not having that kind of set in your ways thought process that we all have to be physically together in a Sydney boardroom to, effectively conduct business, and being much more willing to, allow people to have more latitude to dial in for board meetings. I know this has happened especially in the not-for-profit space where often time is very, limited, and not everyone can, drive hours to board meetings and then sit in a board meeting room and then hours to get back home. I think there's definitely a pragmatism coming into the market around virtual board meetings. That does raise a few sensitivities around recording board meetings, when and when not to record in camera, and the like. And they're things for each individual board to work through. But I think the shift will be eventually all of these meetings will be recorded in some way, shape, or form. But there may be a process around how those recordings are then treated and maybe destroyed once the minutes are created and so on. Whether we have a shift towards, more of a transcription type scenario in boardrooms remains to be seen, but it would not surprise me if it became a lot more transparent going forward, and that was the norm across the board. The challenge we have at the moment is we have quite a litigious environment where everyone kind of wants to blame directors when things go wrong, and so, board minutes are carefully curated, and discussions that are quite volatile are tempered for board minute purposes and so on. So you don't always get the backstory to the minutes, and maybe that will change over a period of time. Maybe there'll be a different mindset around that, but for the time being we are seeing technology enhance the meetings, make it more effective. Then the final thing where we're seeing technology really coming into play is artificial intelligence, and we are getting a lot of boards now embracing AI, using AI to create a sort of an alternative board paper, if you like, an alternative viewpoint, and then using that to challenge the board's thinking to see where they're at and whether there was an alternative way, particularly for organisations that are trying to pursue growth, competitive disruption in markets and so on. You're definitely seeing the AI tools be used like a business strategist to provide that different lens. And of course, right across that whole risk management side of things, there's a lot of evolution happening there with tracking of financials, assets, liaising with your accounting firms, your legal firms and the like. So there's a lot of technology advancements that are happening there. So there isn't an aspect of board work now that isn't being impacted by the whole new technology landscape, and it really is incumbent on the board members to stay current, to stay across this, understand the risks, understand all the issues, and at the same time, be aware of how it's all coming together and how it's all operating, and not be afraid to question things at certain points in time. And I think we'll see this with the AI and the ethics around the AI. We're definitely seeing quite significant conversations happening about this. We might have technology teams racing to develop AI-based solutions, and then you'll have another part of your business saying, well, hang on a tick, what about this, and this? And so I think board members have to be really cognizant of that. But there's no doubt about it. We are in a technology revolution. There's going to be a lot of change, and we need to be comfortable and confident that that change is for the good and will have lasting impacts. And we have to be very cautious as we go forward as well.